Here, guys, just go ahead and put that intro here. Again, do that every week. I'm not going to bring this up every week. You guys know by now. You know we have to put that intro at the beginning. Okay, we're going to start in 3, 2, kid, and play. Welcome back to the Scare Value Podcast. Pete, still stuck in 1986.
I was going to say lights, camera, nonsense.
Lights, camera, nonsense.
Because that's what I'm bringing.
Just before we hit record in our nice studio we built with our Peggy Sue Got Married money.
This is the fanciest room I've ever been in my life.
I know. We didn't have to make it this fancy, but we have so much money now. And things are way cheaper in 1986.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? It's easier to spend the money than carry it around in your wallet.
It is.
Because that wallet is heavy with all of that cash.
It is. And I don't trust banks.
No, never. I don't even have a mattress. I just have a sack filled with dollars, and that's what I sleep on.
That's right.
I put it on a bed frame, though. I'm lying. I don't have a bed frame. I just sleep on a box spring with a sack of money on top of it.
You sit in a beanbag chair full of coins.
I do. It's a lot harder to jump into. Scrooge McDuck lied to me.
Yes, there's some cartoon nonsense going on there. So it's only been a week since we saw Killbots.
That's true.
And now we've watched April Fool's Day. But Pete, in the interim, there's just the 6 or 7 days since we recorded last.
Yes.
I watched the Oscars on a Monday.
That happened?
On a Monday. It was
I didn't even know
strange.
they happened.
I guess they used to be on Mondays.
It was Sundays. That's when I've seen them.
Well, it was an interesting show because...
Who won the best picture for last year?
Out of Africa?
Is that the one with Steve McQueen?
I don't remember. I never saw it.
And one of the Hepburns?
I'm going to say it's not.
That's the African Queen.
Yeah, that's not Steve McQueen, though.
Are you sure about that? There was a car named Bullet.
Yeah, yes, you've got a lot of references. None of them go together.
Okay, I think that's the way I remember things.
Humphrey Bogart was in the African Queen.
Hey, man, don't Bogart my ego.
Don't Bogart my Oscars.
That weasel stole our bee.
Well, it doesn't really matter what won Best Picture because who cares about those kinds of movies? We care about horror movies here.
But they don't let horror movies in the Oscars, Brian.
I didn't think so either, but I never knew this. It blew my mind when I discovered this watching the Oscars and the nominees for Best Visual Effects came up.
Ooh, I like visual effects. Tell me.
Well, the scariest fucking movie I've ever seen in my life was nominated for Best Visual Effects. You can guess.
Ooh, I'm going to guess. What am I going to guess? So many choices. What movies do I know that came out
85
in 1985? Did I don't know what horror movies existed. And it won for Best Visual.
It didn't win.
It won,
but it was nominated for Best Visual Effects, and it blew my little mind.
It was nominated for winning, and it was Friday the 13th Part 2.
Nope, that was 81, but it was the scariest movie I've ever seen in my life.
Pumpkinhead.
Which a 6-year-old me would have seen in the theater in 1985. These are not clues that will help you.
The Island of Dr. Moreau.
Pete, it is the movie Return to Oz.
I know about this fear that you have.
Oscar nominee, Return to Oz. I was stunned watching this broadcast.
You know what part that was nominated for, right?
When the woman takes her heads off?
Yes.
Head off?
That's the one?
Yeah.
Well, I know it.
Lord Pumpkin is terrifying.
I guess this movie, you're not alone. A lot of people, I've seen on back when we had the internet.
You've never seen it?
I have never seen Return to Oz.
We're covering Return to Oz probably while we're stuck here. If I can find it.
Okay. I've never, ever seen it before. Now, I come from the Labyrinth and Dark Crystal side of...
Child's Play. Poppycock.
Okay. You think it's
nonsense.
You think it's bringing that level, huh?
Amateurs.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Nothing has ever been scarier to me than Return to Oz.
Well, let's see if we can find a VHS. They've got to exist, right?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I haven't had to try.
I don't know how to do anything, Pete.
No, we have them. They send them to us sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to do anything in 1986.
Well, we know they exist because I've held them in these very hands of mine.
No, we watched April Fool's Day.
I never saw it before, so it was fun to see it in the theater for the first time ever.
Yeah, there's a pretty good crowd, too. This movie, if I recall correctly, is a modest success.
Okay.
And people were angry at it.
What is there to be mad at? All right.
For the obvious reason.
Tell me the plot, 'cause I don't remember everything, so give me the Give me the synopsis, the Cliff's Notes. What do they call them these days? The Dum Dum books?
In '86, what do they call them?
Yeah, it's not the Cliff Notes.
I think they still call it the plot.
The plot. Tell me the plot. What is this plot?
Now, Muffy St. John is having a birthday party.
Her name's Muffy.
Her name is Muffy. And, well, her friends are at her palatial estate.
On an island.
They all start dying one by one. And it turns out she might have a criminally crazy sister, Buffy St. John, who is doing all the murdering.
You know it's true because it's Muffy and Buffy. All twins have rhyming names.
All twins have rhyming names.
That's right. You know, I have known quite a few twins in my day.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. Perfect rhyme.
You know them too.
Yeah, perfect rhyme.
It fits.
I've never met twins in real life.
Though there was, let me see, they all fit the rhyme scheme, mind you. There was Debbie and Cindy.
Chip and Dale.
These
all rhyme, sure.
Let's see here. There were two. I can't remember. It was Felipe and somebody else. I can't remember his name. There was somebody in middle school. I can't remember their names.
Oh, so they rhyme because you don't remember.
Yeah, it was Tweedledee and Tweedledee. Mm-hmm. And there was Frick and Frack.
And, perfect rhymes.
It was Frick and Frack and then his brother Tick and Tack. Mm. And that's it. Were there any twins in our high school?
No. I just told you I've never met any twins.
Have you maybe met twins, but they were pretending to be one person?
I've met twin cousins before, and it was very strange.
Twin cousins before?
Yeah. Identical cousins.
That's a Patty Duke. That's Patty Duke.
Not even the first one we made.
That's on Nick and Knight.
Not even the first one we made.
No, but Nick and Knight is on. Now I got to.
Is there Nick and Knight 96? I don't know.
Yeah,
I've never
it's happening.
Looked it up for it.
I believe that it is. I've only been watching He-Man and horror movies, so I'm going to have to stay up late and see if I can find it. I wonder what channel it's on.
It's on Nickelodeon.
You think so?
Yeah. That'd be my guess as to what it would be on.
That would make sense. I never got to stay up past like 8 o'clock, so I don't know. I thought Nickelodeon went off the air.
It's a strange phenomenon in 1986. There's far less channels, but there's a lot more on.
I don't know what that means.
More things I want to watch.
Yeah, but they don't have those 24-hour infomercials.
No, they don't. It's great.
But how am I going to buy my ab slider or my thing that cooks eggs in 1 minute?
The one thing, though, about TVs, they're fucking heavy.
They are gigantic.
And we got big ones because we got all of our big money from pigs who got married.
The screen is only so big, but that giant goddamn cabinet that it comes in, it is bonkers.
Yeah, there's like tubes and stuff in there.
Yeah,
that's why they used to call it the boob tube, because I watch pornography on it.
And the tube TVs look like boobs.
Do they?
Yeah.
If you have two TVs.
Yeah.
What?
Doesn't that like turn you on, get your motor going? Look at those. Look at those flat screens. Yeah. 55 inches.
Well, the reason people are mad, I guess, from our perspective, at
people
this movie.
Didn't seem mad. I guess I don't remember.
They don't like that it's a trick.
That's the best part of this ridiculous movie.
I'm of two minds on it.
Are you?
Yes.
You don't have two minds.
I do. I have one in 2024 and one in 1986.
All right.
In 1986, Brian.
Tell me what your brains have a problem with.
1986, Brian isn't ready for this. He just wants to watch a bad slasher movie. And even though you get all the elements of it, when the curtain's pulled back, I get kind of annoyed. But in 2024, when you look back at the whole history of slashers, it's nice that there's something different that existed here plopped into the middle of it.
Okay. Well, I conveniently have only ever seen this movie one time at one point in time, and that was right now, the other day. And I really liked it. Because it was dumb. It's like it's a standard, it's a so-so slasher. I feel like there might have been nudity. You disagree with me?
I don't think there was.
I think there was very much implied nudity. Like I said, that we were talking earlier, there was the shot of her going to the beach, and like her bathing suit is so tight, given her camel toe.
Again, that's clothing. You can't start your proof of nudity with clothing.
It was ridiculous. There had to be more nudity. I gotta believe there was nudity in there somewhere.
You know what? I'm sure there wasn't.
What?
Minority characters.
No.
It didn't. Well, I noticed it last week when we discussed
Killbots.
Killbots.
Yeah. But there wasn't
now
really
that we're
in a
two for
mall?
two. I don't think that there was any minority characters in either of these movies.
Well, this was a fancy island, and Muffy was a bit of a racist, I believe. Maybe she was like one of those robots who was homophobic from the Killbots.
If your name is Muffy St. John, you're definitely a racist.
Yeah, so that explains why there are no POCs anywhere around this particular group of people.
And I understood it in Chopping Mall a bit because it's four friend couples. So these are all high school friends or college friends in Chopping Mall, and they're in their own little friend group. Okay, I get it, but now we're 2 for 2, and it's a little weird.
It's time for Minority Report. Every movie we watch in 1986, we're going to put on blast. We're going to give it the Minority Report, and we're going to hold them up. What are the standards? I got a title, but I don't have rules for it. There has to be somebody in there who's not white.
A non-white character with a speaking role and something to do.
There's literally been nothing. How about we just get somebody who's not white on film?
Yeah, that would be
a minority of some kind.
It would be a start.
Right. Let's see where we can go with that.
Because so far, the 1986 is all white.
All white all the time. All right. This is interesting. I didn't notice that. But now that you've pointed it out, it's there.
Yeah. Now, what makes this movie interesting to me, what I like about the movie, is it kind of does the thing I always wished a movie would do without realizing this movie had already done it. It's not setting out to be a slasher movie. It's just like an 80s teen sex comedy, and then a slasher cuts through the movie. Like, the setup isn't, there's all these horrible things about this island and stuff like that. It's like, let's go have a party, and we're all going to have sex together, and we're all having fun. And we cast like a pretty great cast of people that are way better than most slasher movies. And it's kind of a comedy more than anything.
Okay, there was a bit at the beginning, too, where it was almost like a early found footage, because they had the handheld camera. They're interviewing Muffy St. Buffy, and I was like, oh, it's a found footage movie. But it's not, because it's only for a few minutes.
Yeah, it's just people recording on their video camera.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm so used to that now, as so many films are of that handheld camera style.
This invented it then. It invented introducing people cinema verite style.
And having a plot, like you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, it
invented that.
They weren't there to investigate any strange noises. They were there to have a fun weekend and party. And I enjoy that they just set out to make like a perfect 80s version of that. And it is one. But then people start, quote unquote, dying.
Yeah, Muffy, there was something weird, though, about that. Like, like her getting ready for everyone to come to the island and them talking about her and how she was, I don't know. She sounded mysterious.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to be a weird bad guy who killed everybody.
So you're supposed to think that.
What? And it worked, because that's what I thought then.
Did you notice that the final girl in this movie, again, quote unquote, because everybody lives,
yes,
is Ginny Field from Friday the 13th Part 2?
Of course I didn't.
Amy Steele herself, my favorite.
What did she steal? Is she in jail now?
I don't know where she is now, because it's 1986. I'm guessing she's at the premiere of
That's right.
This movie. So this was produced by Frank Mancuso Jr., I noticed, and he produced the Friday the 13th sequels. So I'm guessing he was like, let's get Amy Steele back in this, because she was so great in Friday the 13th Part 2.
Oh, so that Friday the 13th Part 2 already happened.
In 1981, yes.
Okay, I don't know when things come out.
Frank Mancuso Jr., Pete, born in Buffalo, New York.
Hey, good for him.
Yep. And he took over the Friday the 13th franchise for a time.
Did he do well with it?
Yeah. This is the peak.
I'm happy. We call that the Pete. Not the peak. Pete.
Who's we?
Me. It's me. I'm trying to get it to catch on, but no one's going for it yet.
If you get it to catch on in 1986, by the time we get back to 2024, that might be a real thing.
Yeah. I want to try to bring back the high five, but it's already here.
It is here in 1986.
I don't know what to do now. That was my one thing, was bringing back the high five.
I know. And I hate fist bumps, but we could introduce the fist bump.
No, I'm not a big fist bump thing. Although you can do that thing where you hold up your hand and so they like hit your palm and you pretend it's a turkey and you go, your hand's a turkey.
I bet you can get that started. And when we return to 2024, that'll be the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. If you do it to the right person, they look at you really weird.
The other people in this movie I noticed, or the guy from Just One of the Guys, who I've only ever seen in this movie and that one.
That's right. I kept thinking he was somebody else, too.
Because he seems like a star. Because we watched that movie so many times because HBO would put it on in the middle of the day and there was boobies.
That was one of those HBO movies. Yep. And it was boobs in the middle of the day because that's what the 80s were supposed to be about. At least my understanding of it was in the 1980s.
Mm-hmm. And this movie has Biff from Back to the Future.
That's who that was.
Pete, do you think that a DeLorean could get us home? Because they're out there.
it can't hurt to try if you want to go home, but no one does.
Well, theoretically, if we could use it to get home, we could use it to get back or get anywhere else.
Oh, it works more than once?
I've seen 3 movies based on a DeLorean that can move.
My time machine, again, only moves forward.
Yes, move forward 1 second per 1 second.
Yes.
Yes.
So the fact that we can move around with it.
Well, we're gonna find
All
it.
right.
We're gonna use our money and find ourselves a DeLorean, and we're gonna test that out. We'll come back next time.
We're gonna get a DeLorean with the most metachlorians.
Maybe we get us home. Maybe we'll just tell you how it went.
I think it's gonna go awesome, and we're gonna be able to rule the time.
And Muffy St. John is played by Deborah Foreman, who you might know from Valley Girl, starring opposite Nicolas Cage.
That's where she's from, but I haven't seen Valley Girl in forever. I don't know if I've seen Valley Girl. I've seen her at some point, but I don't know if I've seen it where I remember it.
Well, she's the one that he says, "Fuck off, man, for sure, like totally." She's on the receiving end of that.
I see. That was a really good Nick Cage impersonation, by the way.
Yeah.
It was nice to hear.
I know I've mentioned this before, but I'm so excited that we ended up being the ones to write his best line he ever delivered in movie history.
I know, and I'm happy.
My wang.
I'm happy that you get to do that impression now, and he learned it from you.
He learned it by watching me.
And that's the circle of life, right? Yes, I believe so. The circle of Cage. Anyhow.
Circle of Cage.
Nick Cage.
So 1986,
Private Eye.
we've mentioned before, is when horror really turned to comedy. Friday the 13th Part 6 was the comedy version. This is a horror comedy. Shopping Mall wasn't.
No, it wasn't. When does Gremlins 2 come out?
1990.
Oh, wow. That's a late one.
Yeah.
All right. So comedy, this is the turning for an evil.
Gremlins 1 is a horror comedy, but 86 is when like all the franchises were like, let's make horror comedies.
Was Gremlin 1 really a horror comedy?
Yes.
I just thought it was straight up horror, kind of.
It's a comedy.
I don't remember the funny. Oh, yeah, I guess so.
It's the
Tragic stories.
That's part of it. But also the comedic adventures of a grown man and his child friend.
You see that? I feel like there was a movie that came out later and it was called Atonement, and it was like something about that.
I never saw Atonement.
Me neither, but I think there was something about pedophiles there.
Speaking of pedophiles, do you know what comes out in just a few weeks?
Powder.
A movie that I think we should cover, even though it's not a horror movie. And I know that's against our...
Well, if you've led me in with pedophiles, so I'm really worried
So
where
you're already in.
So I was already... Oh, boy.
I think we should take our equipment
Okay.
and we should head into the car, drive down to the local drive-in, and see Ferris Bueller's Day Off, starring Jeffrey Jones.
Are you going to cosplay?
And
Jeffrey fucking Jones.
And Manslaughterer.
Oh, wow. What a cast we got here.
Yes.
Pedophile.
We'll talk about it, but I think it breaks the format, but I think we should definitely go cover it.
Are you going to cosplay?
As
Are you-
Jeffrey Jones? Yeah.
No, I thought you were going to wear the trench coat.
Only when I have to get out of trouble.
Only when you have to get out of trouble, that's the rules?
Yes.
I had a trench coat for a while.
Oh.
It was pretty cool.
We'll talk about it, but I think that we're going to break the format one of these weeks and we're going to go see.
I haven't been to a drive-in ever in a million years, so I can't wait to go.
I haven't been there since they tore down the one we're probably going to go to, and it's very exciting to me.
They were so big. How have we not been to a drive-in already? Oh, because it's goddamn April. That's why we haven't been to a drive-in.
It's because it's Buffalo and it's March 27th. There's a good reason we haven't been to the drive-in yet.
Hey, why didn't they wait till April 1st to release this movie?
It probably wasn't on a Friday.
Well, you know what? Maybe that was the joke. On us.
Yes, that was the joke. I think that the twist would have worked better if this movie wasn't just called April Fool's Day.
The twist, the twist, I don't think we've explained it to anyone. Who cares to know is...
Nobody's dead.
Yeah, nobody's dead.
She's running the most dangerous game of all time.
No, it's like an early escape room murder mystery thing.
Yeah, so they fake kill these people, and when they pull them out of basically the movie, they explain the story to them so they'll go along with it. And again, these people are in real peril that is not set up.
But they explained it away at the end.
But this is not, I'm just saying, this is a poor business model.
Well, this was just the test to see if it would work, to
Yes.
see if all the clues hidden throughout the building.
Her friends were expendable.
Right, well, they weren't meant to really
Also,
die.
what about the scene where she just goes and puts a tape of a baby crying into a woman, her friend who had lost a baby.
Or had
And
an
she's
abortion.
Like, an abortion. And at the end, she's like, some of these got out of control, and I apologize for that. Like, I don't know that Good enough apology.
She apologized.
But the other girl still went away with it, along with the thing. But there's a great shot of her at the end when they're talking about everybody went along with it, and she's just like frowning and looking off like, yeah, I was treated much worse than the rest.
But that worked because then at the very end, Buffy St. Muffy, she gets her throat slit.
Yeah.
And it's Nan there. Her name was Nan, by the way, the one who had the abortion and who was the smart one because she was reading books. And did she have glasses?
I don't remember.
I don't either. I feel like she should have had. She had the aura of somebody who wears glasses, and just you can smell the genius coming off of her. But anyway,
what the fuck? You say things sometimes that sound like they're phrases that you know, and that's not a phrase that anybody knows. You can smell the genius coming off of her.
It's just pouring off of her. You can see like the lines that normally in cartoons mean stink lines, but they're genius lines.
Yeah, that ending, it's like a Lord of the Rings thing. It's like we got to tack another ending on this.
But it was a hat on a hat. It was another April. It was Nan slitting her throat, and she freaks out, but then it turns out to have all been fake, and it was Nan getting back for her being so cruel with her jokes about abortion.
It's a tremendously cruel joke for a thing that's going to turn out to be a prank.
She went too far and she apologized.
Like, before that, we get breaking chairs and whoopee cushions, and she's like, also a dead baby. What the fuck?
She admitted that this was a dry run and she was trying to figure it out. So she probably made a little note somewhere in her little book that says, oh, don't do that. That's too much.
Don't find out if lost babies.
Yeah, don't use secrets against, or maybe she's not even that far. She's not at the don't use secrets against people to scare them. She's just at the, okay, abortion jokes, not funny.
I just wonder how many people she was prepared to lose this weekend in her test. Because, again, there's a real snake that could have bitten the guy.
And she also said that was unexpected. She didn't see it coming. Like, again, there was an apology. She apologized to everybody. And this giant...
Somebody fell down a well. You could break your neck.
Well... I don't think that was planned.
No, that's the point, Pete.
But
this is the most dangerous
stupidity.
Because her plan is to turn it into a murder mystery weekend getaway.
Yes.
Except you're really just going to push people down wells and stuff.
No, not after that. Like after that, it's all going to be actors. They're all going to be actors on it, and you're going to have it's like they do those things. They have these, come spend the night at our hotel while the murder is happening around you, and you solve it.
Well, the plan is bullshit.
I like this Muffy St. Buffy's ideas.
She also walked around for half the movie pretending to be her delusional sister.
I forgot about
that. But never enough for more than like a brief conversation where she'd be like, what? What's that? I don't remember. And her friends would be like, she's acting weird now.
That was great.
It's pretty funny.
I completely forgot about that she was playing, because you spend most of the movie sitting there thinking that it's her twin sister, because they start to hint at that. You look back and you see it. It's there. It's all really like rudimentary, I guess, because it's just
like, I enjoy the movie because it's so different, but you can definitely see it gets itself caught between what works for a film and what works for the story, where there's certain things they have to show you in the movie to make you believe it's happening, but make no sense for the plan that she's running in the background.
What do you mean?
Well, she has to apologize for how horrible some of her ideas are.
Okay.
But they need to be shown for the movie for you to believe it's happening. But then you cut back the curtain and it's like, why would you make any of these choices except for the fact that you had to film them?
Well, she didn't know about the snake. She didn't know people were going to jump in the well. Who jumps in the well? The rope broke on the bucket.
First of all, they think half their friends are dead.
Well, still, if you were dead, that'd be all my friends. So I don't know how to role play this scenario out. But I don't think jumping in a well is going to be my first option. We'll call that option 3.
What's option 2?
I don't know. I'll figure it out in the moment. I'm not a plans kind of guy.
Option 2 is punch it in the face.
That worked out.
Option 1, run away.
I'm not running anywhere.
Option 0, the nuclear option.
You just lay there?
That's the nuclear option? Just lay there?
I know, that's what they taught us.
You know what they say? If it's a black bear, you fight back. If it's a brown bear, you fight back, right? I think that's right.
And if it's a polar bear, you ride it.
Oh, yeah, to the North Pole.
That's where they live.
And if it's a koala bear, you eat it.
They have chlamydia.
Tasty.
And to feed, I don't know if you know this, Brian, but apparently eucalyptus is so devoid of all nutrients that I guess they can't eat it naturally. They don't have the enzymes. They can't be broken down. So baby koalas can't eat the eucalyptus. They have to eat their mom's poop. They lick it out of their butts to get the diarrhea, and that starts growing the the bacteria or whatever, the enzymes they need to break it down.
Nature.
And they also have the smoothest brains, I think, ever.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah. The wrinkles in the brain means you're smart.
Because it means they're dumb enough to eat poop.
Yep. And you know who has a big wrinkled brain? It was Nan. Nan in this movie, because I think she had glasses on, and that means she's smart. No smooth brain on her.
No.
I mean, she's no Annie Brackett. I was thinking about I think my favorite horror girl ever is Annie Brackett.
Halloween, another movie with no minority characters.
What was Michael? He never took that mask off.
When he was a kid, he did. And
I don't remember seeing him.
Yes.
He was in it without his mask on?
Yes. As a child, as a 7-year-old.
Then he went to like psychiatric jail?
Yes, and he was still white when he came out of it.
No, he wasn't. He had a mask. Well, yeah, because that mask was all white.
That's right.
Is that what you're thinking about?
Even the mask.
All right, Minority Report. That's the thing
even
now.
The mask. He got a William Shatner mask, and he's like, I got to make it whiter.
William Shatner's not white enough.
Not white enough for me.
No, he's dangerously liberal, his thinking.
Yep.
All right, where were we, though? I was talking about Buffy St. Muffy, and her plan was a good one.
It was terrible.
Her plan to run this resort thing is cool. I think that's got some smarts. And I was already starting to think that she was a dumb rich kid. But no, she's got a plan. She's got tactics. Her sense of planning is off. I'll grant you that. But how else, I ask you, are you going to know if this works or not?
I don't know. They did have some good gore effects.
How were the kills? I don't remember the kills.
So none of them were actually kills.
Right. So what were the gore effects?
Well, you get the guy that gets smushed by the boat.
That was pretty fun. The dock accidentally hits him. Who was the captain? I like the captain of the boat.
How am I going to know the answer to that?
I don't know. Was it Dick Miller?
No.
He looked like Dick Miller. He looked like a young Dick Miller or a contemporary Dick Miller.
You'd think that he'd look exactly like the Dick Miller we saw last week since it's the same year.
Yes, I think it was the same guy.
It was not Dick Miller.
I think he was. He retired from being a janitor and
he died being a janitor.
He retired, yes. So then he had to get a new job, and his new job was tugboat captain.
Yes. Ferry
captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It hangs together.
And then the Killbots showed up because they're homophobic.
What? Who's? Oh wait,
because it's the ferry captain.
I got that, but who was it? It was Duckadoo 2, the guy who was filming everything at the beginning. The
guy from Just One of the Guys.
Yeah. It was Duckadoo, and who was the sports guy? The sports guy looked like it was somebody else with hair. All I could think of the whole time, like, ooh, you're somebody else.
Yeah, there was. So Ginny. Her name's not Ginny in this. I don't know what her name is. That's the problem. I can't look any of this up.
There's Muffy St. Buffy.
I know Muffy St. John. That's the only name I know. Ginny Field's character in this one, Amy Steele's character, dates a guy who is no descriptive I could give you, possibly. I know Biff. I know guy from Just One of the Guys.
Yep. The guy from Just One of the Guys was Duckadoo 2.
I can't
Electric Boogaloo.
Think of one descriptive adjective for the guy that she's with.
Hair. And he looks like somebody else. Kevin Bacon. He looks like Kevin Bacon. He's like, I'm going to be Kevin Bacon.
It wasn't Kevin Bacon.
He thinks he had the Kevin Bacon hair from Tremors. I don't know when Tremors came out.
1990.
Well, Kevin Bacon totally stole this guy's hair because it was Kevin Bacon before Kevin Bacon baconed.
The pre-baconing.
Yeah. That was right here. It was the pre-tremoring as well. It was, I guess.
What was Kevin Bacon up to in 1986? I don't even know.
Oh, that's my Nick Cage news.
He said, she said.
No, that's my Nick Cage news. Him and Kevin Bacon were hanging out because they're cool guys. And you know what they invented together?
Are you making up Nick Cage news because your life is so empty without it?
The moon, Brian. They invented the moon. Kevin Bacon and Nick Cage together. So that's my Nick Cage news for right now. I'll have more. I have lots more.
Oh, no. Your brain's going to melt without Nick Cage news. You know what I haven't heard you bring up one time in 4 months?
What?
Your family.
Who? Oh. No, they're in Ohio. They're
No.
I don't
Your
need
family that you made in the future that you've abandoned by being stuck in 86 and looking for no way out.
It has been remarkably relaxing the last few months.
It's very quiet here.
It is very quiet here. You know what? We're in Buffalo. Kitty's in Buffalo.
Yeah.
I bet you I can go. And you know what? I don't know.
How old is Kitty?
I don't know where my hat is that I was wearing when we left But you know who does know is Kitty. She knows where everything is. And if she's here now,
She's 4?
I don't know. I don't do math. I'm not 4 and I'm here right now.
That is actually a fairly decent point.
If I can figure out where she is, I can go ask her where my hat is,
Yeah.
and go then tell her, you know what? Doesn't matter. I just want to know where my hat is.
Yeah, but you said we shouldn't interact with anything or do things.
Well,
and you want to go find your 4-year-old wife and ask about the status of a hat she doesn't know about.
If my hat is lost somewhere back here, they might use that design for, like, maybe there's new hat technology, and I saw Terminator 2. They used that future technology to recreate stuff, so I can't leave this hat back here.
It's true.
I have to find it.
I guess that's kind of true, but I don't know that they didn't have cotton in 1986.
I don't know what hats are made of, man.
I don't either.
They're very
Polyester
fancy
and cotton
these
is
days,
like-
right? So that's what I got to do. All right, remind me. I'm going to put that on my little checklist of things for Pete to do.
Your thing to do is to go find your 4-year-old wife.
Yes, she might not be 4 though.
I think she probably is 2. I don't even know.
I don't know.
What year is this? 86?
What year am I?
She's 44. We're 44. Yeah, I think she's 2, 3. I don't know.
Well, I can warn her about something.
I think somebody should warn her about this.
I don't know.
This seems like a bad idea.
I don't see a problem. I like this. It works, and I'm going to go with it. I'll let you know.
Your
You know what?
plan is to go to a toddler and say, "Where's my hat?"
Yeah.
Are you going to wear the trench coat?
I don't have one now. I'll wear that if I get into trouble, which you seem, maybe you know what?
You can get yourself out of trouble if you wear that trench coat.
I was just going to say, you seem to think that this is a bad idea for some reason, but I can wear the trench coat, and if I get in trouble, I can use it to get out, and I can keep things in the pockets like candy to try to, it does turn out to be like 4,
Yeah.
I can try to give her candy and stuff because that'll probably make her more calm and trusting. And it's Kitty. I know Kitty. I'm married to her.
Yeah,
I love her. I have 2 kids with her.
I guess marriage is forever. Just didn't realize it worked in both directions. I didn't think about that through because it gets creepy the further back you go.
No, I got it. Trench coat, pockets full of candy. Where's my hat? I got it.
You going to take the van?
Can I?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, sweet.
We have no driver's licenses. So
That's
if you get
okay.
caught, we have to pay them off like we always do.
Yep. I open up my wallet and I just let all the money spill out, right? And then I'm like, here's my ID.
That's right. You know what we should do, though? I mean, not any of the things you're talking about. We should just never do that. What if it's for parents see you? They might remember you because you look exactly like you're going to look.
I'll make sure they aren't around. I'll
I
hide.
guess it's a problem for not you. It's a problem for past you.
Yeah, it's past Pete's problem.
It's about time future Pete get back at past Pete.
Past Pete is a lazy piece of shit who never does anything.
What I think we should do is go commit a series of crimes and leave our fingerprints and DNA all over. Well, there's no DNA in 1986. Leave our fingerprints all over it, and they'll be so confused.
Yeah, they will. You know, the O.J. Simpson trial, part of the reason he got off from that was
They didn't understand DNA.
People didn't know what DNA was.
Yeah.
These stupid downtime people with their stupid beliefs.
They literally explained it to them and were like, this means there's a 99.999 chance that it's him. It's almost impossible for it to be anybody else. And they're like, don't understand it.
What now?
Yep.
I hate down. Again, that's why I like being down here. Everyone's so much dumber than me.
It's so much easier to get away with crimes.
Time crimes.
That's a movie.
Is it?
It's a Spanish movie.
I want to see it now.
It doesn't exist.
All right, we'll get there eventually.
Slowly.
My time machine's on point.
And I don't know that you're going to get there because I think it's at least 25 years from now. And I've seen the way that you eat and interact with 1986, and I don't think you're going to make it.
It's also good. You know what's coming soon, though? I'll fix it. Pretty soon, McDonald's is going to have that McLean DLT coming. And it's called McLean, so I assume it's healthy.
I shouldn't judge you. I eat at McDonald's all the time because they have the good old school chicken nuggets before they started making them out of meat.
And the apple pies. Have you been eating the pies where they're deep fried and there's molten lava and they burn your face off? They're so good, and they got rid of them. Back Uptime, they're all baked or some such nonsense.
Uptime. Is Kitty your uptime girl?
She's living in her Uptime world.
Yeah, she is.
I'm a downtime guy.
Yeah.
Downtime guy's where it's at. Going downtown with the downtime guy.
Yeah. Don't go see Kitty in the van with candy and ask her about your hat.
I'll ask
in
her
your trench coat.
I'm like, hey Kitty, hey Kitty, want some candy? Want some downtown time?
She's going to wonder how you know her name.
You and me, downtown time.
It's okay. We're married.
These are all possible ways. I got it covered. Don't worry.
I think if we made a movie version of this, we should cast Jeffrey Jones.
No, he's a pedophile.
Yep.
A gross one. Terrible
You're
one.
getting close to something.
I'm going to get close to Kitty pretty soon. I'm going to
no.
figure out where that goddamn head is.
Oh, no. Oh, no. You know what we should do? You go and do that.
All right.
What's the worst that could happen? I'll go find us a DeLorean.
All right.
So we can see if we can travel back through time.
That works for me because right now we're going forward.
Just very slowly.
Right.
Well, not relatively slowly. We're going at the exact right speed.
That's the genius of my time machine.
Yes.
Not Nan level genius, just Pete genius.
Do you think this movie would have worked if they didn't take any of the horror and it was just watching people on a vacation? Like, I kind of enjoyed I enjoyed their characters. I enjoyed their patter.
Was it?
That's what I liked about it, was that it had like a very decently built 1986 comedy in it.
At one point, it became like a straight up comedy of, let's keep switching bedrooms because they're all trying to sleep.
It was like
with
a
each other.
screwball comedy.
It was a sitcom show. It was There was an episode of Frasier, I believe, where they all kept switching bedrooms.
There
will be, right? But that's just an old. That's what it was, 100%.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, people started dying.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the thing that it then interrupted. I enjoyed how much they committed to, even the cast, putting people in it that like really fit into it's daytime horror for one. It's pretty much always daylight. They're always walking around the grounds and they're just interacting like people in the 80s movies interact. And I really enjoyed that. You don't get that in a lot of horror movies.
It was weird that Biff Tannen was kind of rapey again. Like he was just skeezy and sleazy. I'm surprised I didn't recognize him as Biff.
Those are twins. Skeezy and sleazy. You can tell by the rhyming pattern.
Yep, you're right. Those are twins. You can always spot a twin by a name.
Callback.
Yeah, it was. Callback and
he was rapey again and also portrayed as a good guy, which is weird.
They all turned out to be good guys though at the end. It doesn't explain away the rapey behavior, but they were all her friends.
It's the 80s.
Yeah, I know. Oof. We got a Minority Report. Should there be like a rape alert, a rape whistle? Because, man, it happens a lot.
Well, there was none in Chopping Mall, which is an amazing restraint when you think about it. Killbots. Sorry, Killbots.
Yeah, thanks. I was lost there for a minute. Chopping Mall. What is that? Oh, I get it. Like a shopping mall, but it's chopping.
Yeah.
I get it.
Except nobody chops in the entire movie.
No, they're robots.
Yes, but it's a great name.
It is. Everyone likes a pun.
Everyone?
Everyone.
And this movie had definitely some rapey vibes, but no minorities.
Nope. And then at the very end, it was all a great big joke. And it was really weird, right, too? Because they set up the beginning with a child and an April Fool's prank. What was the prank? It was something mean. It seemed, there was a Jack in the Box that she...
Yes, this Jack in the Box it pops up 3 times in this movie.
For what reason?
I've never figured it out. I don't know. This is not my first time seeing April Fool's Day.
This is my first time. And I'm sitting there watching, and it's like, so this was something terrible, right? It popped out and scared her when she was a little kid.
Sure.
And then all the family laughs because April Fool's Day. So then we get to the movie, the point, like you start to realize that it could be her twin. So I'm like, okay, like was this twin locked away? You know, like what weird pranks?
This is kind of what I mean about some of the stuff about not fitting a movie that fits the story, is that she's doing some of this to herself, and I think she's alone on camera. So why am I watching it when it's not going to really pay off to anything else?
What do you mean she's doing things herself? I don't remember a part where she was doing something herself.
I'm pretty sure that the second time you see that Jack in the Box, it's just Muffy.
Yeah.
So who's this for?
She was just playing
for
with
the audience.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's why I thought there was something there was something broken, some psychological.
Right, but that's played for you, not for the weekend, not for the whole point of the movie. It's just played for the viewer.
Right.
So it's weird.
No, because it's teaching us, right, that we're seeing why she's the one who's going to go kill everybody or something.
But that's not happening.
No, it's not.
So it's done specifically for the movie, not for the plot. It's a weird thing to have happen in there.
Well, maybe, you know what? We're showing a day in the life, and Muffy St. Buffy likes to play with, you know why? It brings her back. She's having the best St. April Fool's Day ever, and she is thinking back to her whole life filled with jokes and family and fun and laughter
and
on
the
April
friend she
Fool's.
wants to murder.
And how it's about to become a big business venture. And one of the earliest memories she has of that little Jack in the Box. So she was twirling the little twirl, and she was having fun. Yeah. And we got to see it. I'm nodding my head vigorously.
I don't know. I really love how, of all of the movies that you see in the 80s, this might be in some ways the most 80s movie, because it's just every, I mean, like we said, just one of the guys. You could take scenes right out of just one of the guys and put it in this movie. Like, that guy's in it. You could take scenes out of all these non-horror movies, and that's what this movie is. It's just taking pretty decent actors with a lot of chemistry, putting them in like a screwball teen sex comedy, and then just there happens to be a slasher movie. I wonder how this script came about. I've wondered this since I first saw it.
I don't know, but I really like that it's a joke. It's just a great big joke at the end, and then a double joke because there's another fake kill.
Yeah, there's too many hats, or not enough hats in your case.
That is true. I could use some of these hats that were on this movie.
I just think that her pranks are the most dangerous bullshit pranks of all time.
But what a weird movie, and it's just like a dumb ending, and I love it. It's like, why? What? Why did you show me this? Why did I watch it? Like, oh, I get it. It's St. April Fool's Day. It's St. April O'Neil's Day.
Why do you think St. April Fool's Day?
It's St. April because it's for St. April O'Neil. Oh. And we all put on our shells.
What were her two miracles?
Her two miracles
yeah.
were the miracle of the multicolored bandana, where she just had one bandana and it was gray, or perhaps black. And then...
Wait, you have to explain this to me.
What's that?
The miracle of the multicolored bandana.
There was one bandana and it was black.
Whose?
There were these 4 turtles.
Oh, she made these things?
They were her... what's under a saint? Like in the job hierarchy? There's like God, Jesus, Saint. No, I'm pretty sure he's not there. But God,
he's under it. I know he's not above it.
Right. But God, Jesus, Angel, Saint. Then who's next? Like Pope?
There's like a there's a literal thing that you are before you become a saint.
Ben Grimm?
I don't know. Ben Grimm's under it.
Yes, Ben Grimm's under
it. They made Mother Teresa a saint. And they made that other Pope John Paul a saint. John Paul II a saint. And there was something they were before that. Like they get something and then they get beatified or something like that, but I don't know what they were called.
All right, I don't remember what we were talking about. No, I needed.
You're trying to say that she had 2 miracles. One of them clearly is that she had to be impregnated by one of these turtles at some point, so that's a miracle birth.
All right, fine, but the other one was the bandana, where it was gray, but there were 4 turtles. Whatever they were the popes, or the things. They were the bishops, the rooks.
Yeah, clearly it's Splinter's the pope.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, but anyway. There were 4 turtles, only one color. How are you going to tell them apart? Splinter didn't know what to do. So he prayed, and no, the other lady, I don't know how sainthood works, but he prayed to this St. April O'Neil, and all of a sudden the bandana turned into 4, and they were 4 different colors. And that's how the turtles were able to tell themselves apart.
Why are Mutant Ninja Turtles wearing disguises?
So no one knows who they are. Well, really, I think I just explained it to you.
No, I don't understand. You explain it to me again. Because...
the disguise isn't to hide. It's not a disguise. It's an identifier. The mask is so they know who they are because they're turtles and they all look the same. I'm
going to be able to pick, no matter what color mask they're wearing, I'm going to be able to pick these giant man-like turtles out of a lineup.
Oh, yeah. Hey, which turtle robbed me? Was it Leonardo or Donatello?
Can I tell you what the answer to this will be?
Yeah.
They're going to murder all 4 of them because they're a crime against God. That's what's going to happen.
That was the other miracle of St. April O'Neil. She protected them from God's wrath.
Do you really believe the police are going to stop and question which man-like turtle with the weapons?
Look, man, I saw Casey Jones, the hockey mask wearing, golf club wielding guy, apply for a job with his hockey mask on.
You don't think it's a hockey stick? You think it's a golf club?
Yeah, it was a golf bag with a golf club. But he applied for a job with that hockey mask on. So, yeah, I think maybe they're going to ask which turtle. Like, that's just accepted in the Turtleverse.
I think they're just going to murder all the turtles.
That's not the way that goes. I don't like your interpretation. You're a gloomy sourpuss. That's what you are.
Which is weird because we watched a pretty uplifting horror movie today, or yesterday, to be honest. This is this one leaves you feeling, not the darkness and emptiness and scares. It's not scary at all, but it's a fun movie.
It was such a weird
I think we're 2 for 2 on fun movies, to be honest. I think the 86. Actually, if you want to go back to the Friday the 13th Part 6, that's 3 movies in 86 we watched, and I think they're all fun.
So far, yeah. You know what, though? Credits are lacking. I realized I could write things down. Yeah. I didn't do that for the first movie because
it was really nice not to have a credit check.
Well, there was a credit check, and there was a secret ending at the end where the killbots talk to you, tell you, have a good one, mate. But anyway, there was no best boy again.
I didn't even know they were Spanish.
Yeah, they were.
Wow.
from Argentina, I think. But anyway, I forgot what I was saying. What was it? Oh, there was no Best Boy. It's 2 movies in a row. I guess Best Boys aren't appreciated back here in 1986. There was only one stuntman for the whole movie. His name was Jim Dunn. That was my credit check.
Wow. One stuntman.
That was it.
How many stunts? There were some stunts. There was the well stunt. There was the boat stunt.
Do you think after every stunt he would stand up and go, Jim Dunn, and then walk off the set?
I'd like to think he did.
I would 100%. 100%. Everything I did my entire life.
I hope he did.
I might change my last name right now.
I hope he winked too. Just in case everybody didn't get it.
And then something, maybe it was a question, and the director would be like, Jim Dunn would be like, Jim Dunn? Jim Dunn.
This is like a Hodor situation. He can only say the one thing. Jim Dunn.
Maybe Jim Dunn is a time traveler too. Wasn't that Hodor's thing?
All stunt people are time travelers. Everybody knows this.
I wanted to be a stunt man. My instincts were correct.
Your instinct.
My instinct.
Okay.
Like distinct lines that showed the brains of Nan.
Yeah, you're hung up on this. Did you have a crush on Nan?
No, I didn't. Yeah, but it was.
You know she puts out.
Yeah, I think, you know why? Because it made
And
me
she'll
think.
take care of any unwanted business that comes from it.
Because I've been thinking about the smart girls in horror movies, and for some reason Annie Brackett's just the one that I always think of.
Which is strange because the smart one is Laurie Strode.
I'm well aware. But Annie
I was thinking about the smart girls, and I picked her friend.
yeah, because Annie Brackett's just great.
The literal defining characteristic of Laurie Strode in the movie Halloween is that she's a book nerd.
Yeah, who had a really cool friend.
She had two kind of cool friends, to be honest.
Well, and one super cool friend.
Why are they hanging out with each other? I never thought about that. They don't seem like they would run in the same circles.
I don't know.
They just live near each other. She lives like 3
car.
houses down, so I guess that explains why she's friends with them. I don't know why they're friends with Linda Vanderklok. Because her cool name.
Because she likes to party.
Well, I'm going to guess Annie's friends with everybody.
Is she friends with everybody?
I'm going to guess she's friends with everybody.
Begrudgingly putting up with everything that goes on around her.
I think people like her sass.
I do. I understand that. I like her sass.
And I think that she probably is really good friends with Lori, and then Lori isn't really good friends with Linda Vanderklok. She's just friends with Annie because she lives like 3 doors down. That'd be a good name for a band. Not taken. I know that. All of them. Vanderklok rules.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good name for a band.
Sounds like a TV show that I've never seen.
Yeah, but that one was about lactating or breastfeeding or something.
What was
right? That whatever that show was. It was in a van. Yeah, it was in a van, right? Vanderpump. Yeah.
Speaking of vans, don't go find your wife.
Well, you already said I could. No takesy backsies.
I guess I did say you could. I'll go find a DeLorean.
I like this movie though.
Yeah,
I really enjoy April Fool's Day.
2 for 2. This trip back to 1986 that we did not intend to make is wrought 2 entertaining films.
It is. What are the
kind
rules?
Of short. Both.
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm finding the rules. Like I need them 90 minutes. Like I'm looking here now.
No, we know because you ruined Killbots for everybody.
Unintentionally, but I do appreciate that they chopped it. Yeah. They chopped Killbots.
Maybe that's where they got the name from.
Maybe it is. You're welcome again. But what was I saying? The rules seem to be like the 90 minutes. There's boobs.
I don't think there's boobs in this.
Yeah, I know. It seemed like it though.
The rules seem to be there's sex, no minorities.
Okay. Yep. So
90 minutes or less. Comedy.
Comedy.
Chop him a little.
Yeah, did it? I don't know if comedy is necessary.
Not necessary, but these aren't dark movies. They're bright movies where dark things happen.
I'm really excited because I don't know what comes out next. I have no clue. So I'm interested.
What comes out next overall, I don't know. But,
no, me neither. I just mean whatever's coming out that you've got us pinned for.
An ad in the newspaper for a movie coming out in just 2 weeks.
What?
Called Critters.
Hey, you know, in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Raphael comes walking out of the movie theater before he fights Casey Jones. And you know what movie he just saw?
Critters?
Yep, because that was on the marquee. And you know what he says?
Critters?
He looks and he goes, "Sheesh, where do they come up with this stuff?" So this is, I'm so excited right now. Critters and the Turtles.
About Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Is it a comedy?
The Turtles are inherently funny.
Are they?
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy.
The cartoon was.
Yeah, but the turtles are too. Remember one of them had turtle wax?
You know who played one of the turtles' voices?
Was it Corey Feldman?
It was Corey Feldman.
Do you know what's his face? Ernie Reyes Jr. from The Rundown. He was one of the turtles in one of the turtle suits, and then he was in part 2 as, I can't remember his name, Kino perhaps.
Wow, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know from The Rundown.
Yeah, he was the guy with the whips in The Rundown who fights the Rock. He was he worked for. I'm pretty sure that was him, and I was all excited to see him. It's like, hey, I know him.
See him out of his shell.
To see him out of. Oh, that was part 2. He was the pizza guy who became their friends.
Nah. Yeah, they didn't. I don't think any of those stunt actors came back because it was pure hell in those costumes.
That's my understanding of all of it. But it's Critters, so I'm excited because if Raphael.
What do you remember about Critters, Pete?
I remember.
Because I have a theory on this.
I remember that they had porcupine spikes, and they roll up into balls, and they come from outer space, and there's 2 bounty hunters chasing them.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of that's right. Some of it doesn't happen until the sequel because they didn't have the technology to be rolling around very good. Now, my theory on Critters is that most people, when they think of Critters, are not thinking of the movie Critters. They're thinking of Critters 2 or Critters 3 or 4.
I never saw 3 or 4.
Because most people will tell you Critters is terrible, and 3 and 4 are terrible. Leonardo DiCaprio's in 3. And some people will tell you, oh, it's hilarious. That's Critters 2. Critters 1 is a much smaller movie, if I recall.
Okay.
So most of the things that the bounty hunters, them being aliens, that's all in 1. But I think the things most people think about are not actually from the movie Critters.
No. It's Critters 2 because HBO, this is another HBO one. HBO, man, played a lot in my childhood, apparently. Mm-hmm. But Critters 1 and 2, at one point on HBO, were playing together or close to each other so you could watch them. And I remember learning.
I'm a huge Critters 2 fan.
Yes.
Which, unfortunately, is not coming out for another 2 years.
No. In fact, I remember it being to the point where I would watch Critters 2 and I didn't need to watch part 1 because there was nothing I needed from part 1.
No, but here's some things that I just briefly remember about Critters 1. Billy Zane is in it. Dee Wallace is in it.
Who's Dee Wallace?
You're going to ask me this. Oh, should I answer it now or should I wait until next episode when you ask me a second time?
Both.
Okay. She was the mom in E.T.
Oh, okay.
She was in The Howling. She was in lots of those movies. And it has Emmett Walsh, the sheriff, who's still alive in 1986, I'll have you know.
I don't even know who he was.
And it has Scott Grimes as the kid.
Grimy Grimes?
And
the kid from Poltergeist?
And then there's the bounty hunter.
Yeet.
And none of these characters, off the top of my head, are minorities.
You're doing a Minority Report already?
Well, we'll see if I'm right next
All right.
time.
Minority Report on. Yeah. And boobs. We got to look for boobs.
Yes.
Critter boobs this time.
Yes.
Do you think they have 6 or the normal 2? The mammalian 2?
These little tiny critters?
Yeah.
6, clearly.
All right. That's my bet, too.
Like udders.
That's my instinct.
Yeah.
Udders are 4.
Well,
I
I said
think.
like udders. I didn't say udders.
Maybe it's 6. Man, I don't hang around.
They have boobs on the top and udders underneath.
I don't hang around the bottoms of cows very often. I got to put some more quality time in there.
I don't know how many. There's more than 4.
Are there? Like, remember when you're at the fair or whatever, and you sit on your little stool under those fake cows, and they let you milk them, the udders? How many? I think it's just 4. There's not 6 of them. That's a critter udder.
What was I pulling on?
I think that was a bull.
Oh, I got stuff out of it.
Did I tell you when I was a kid, I went to a farm once, and I saw a cow, and I asked the farm, I was all worried and nervous, and I was like, you gotta fix that pig, save the pigs. I thought the udder was a pig that the cow sat on, and it was now stuck under the cow.
Pete, do you think that's happening somewhere like right now?
I should go tell Pete and tell him too to be careful, because I think it was that same fair that got kicked by the cow right in the head. It was a glancing blow, though.
There's an origin story that pays off lots of things that I didn't know until this moment.
Yeah, so I thought it was a pig that was stuck under the cow. It was pretty embarrassing. We should probably go save Pete from that unfortunate comment that he made and had everyone else laugh at him.
I think we shouldn't interfere with either 7-year-old you or 3-year-old Kitty. But I've already told you can, and I know you're not going to stop.
What if the 2 of them hung out?
Yeah, I guess. Did they hang out in the real timeline? Because that's probably something they shouldn't do.
Probably not. Girls had cooties, if I remember things correctly. I also remember around this time, I got chased down by a group of girls, and they had the fat one sit on me while the friend that liked me came and kissed me and gave me cooties.
Wow.
I don't remember how the fat one chased me down.
It's a real biff rape situation.
I was biffed.
You were biffed.
I was biffed, Brian.
That's, well, been biffed by the best. All right, we're going to go and hang out with all of our money. Take a dip in the Scrooge McDuck pond.
Not twice. Look, my hand is still messed up, man. Look at it. Look at it. The finger just bends like that now.
Well, we have the money to fix it.
Yay.
And we'll go see...
Gonna have a gold finger.
Gold finger.
Exactly.
We're going to go see Critters in April, but you'll hear it probably next week because I'm assuming that they're just putting these out in order. I mean,
right.
I know that's what I would do, and since it's me, I'm guessing that's what... Oh, fuck, I'm not editing these, am I?
I don't know. Would you?
No.
I wouldn't.
No.
All right. Have fun with that.
They're not putting those things at the beginning either.
You know what that sounds like? Sounds like a future Pete and Brian problem.
These lazy assholes, they're just uploading these.
It's their problem, not ours. We're good.
Yeah, but if we ever get back...
That's also a future Pete and Brian problem. We're not back yet. We're here, man. We're here.
That's true. But current Kitty's going to have a problem if you show up in that van with that candy.
No, man.
You know what we can get that you can't get in 2024? Candy cigarettes.
You can get them in 2024.
I couldn't get them in 2024.
I'll show you where. I got the hookup if we ever... Once we get there...
Peter, you're just eating cigarettes.
I thought the very, very end is really chewy, and you can't really swallow it. It just stays there.
Okay, we're going to take off for this episode, and we're going to go enjoy the 1986, eat lots of chicken McNuggets without chicken in them.
Orange Julius, baby.
I should really just leave, we could leave the town and see what else is out there, I guess. But I'm afraid because I don't know actually what happens in the world because I didn't pay any attention to history class.
All right. Well, I might go to Ohio, but I got stuff.
No.
I got fancy plans and the pants to match, buddy. Just find that hat.
All right, well, bring the van back fully gassed with the cheap gas you can get.
I'll fill up the whole back.
Is that another euphemism for bottom bunk?
Get biffed to fill up the bottom bunk. I'm going to fill up the back and the bottom bunk. Get biffed in the bottom bunk. I don't know. I guess so.
Get biffed in the bottom bunk. All right. We'll see you hopefully next week, but I don't know what time this is. We'll see you in 2024.
It's time to make the donuts.
Is that we invented that now too? I don't think that's out in 86. Maybe it is.
Sure, I've invented everything. Let's just keep claiming it. I invented ending podcasts. Click.